Hi there, Taurus. Welcome to your end of January 2020. I almost said 23, 25 General Tarot Update. It's Serena here. Gonna do a little shorter spread than normal, and I will explain the positions. Okay. Oh, it's weird. You got the two cards that are like both Taurus cards, so that's kind of interesting. Let me see if I can put so you can see it better. Okay, so the heart of the matter is the Four of Wands. This is a card that it's associated with the domestic side of life, but in a passionate way because Wands is fire energy. It could even be a person who is a Wands individual. So the fire signs are Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And such a person could be someone, I mean, since this is the Four of Wands, this might even be somebody that you are looking to make as a life partner. And the Four of Wands can be a new home, but it could be having a happy home, having a home that you look forward to going home to. So the domestic side being kind of a passionate place rather than some place that's very tense or very like dull, where you don't feel like you are compatible with somebody, or that like if you have children, because that can certainly be part of things too, that you're just going through the motions and it doesn't feel very inspiring or anything like that. The reason that this has been an issue for you is connected to the Knight of Pentacles. So this can be about, you know, this is the Taurus energy, which is very like the work ethic type of thing where you go to work every day. It's very consistent. It's like the person who is, it's by doing things consistently that you create this foundation. You know, the number 4 is a number of foundation because it's connected to the planet Saturn. And so it's like really with the Knight of Pentacles, that's what the Son of Pentacles is. It's really that routine that you establish. And the reason that you're doing it is because you have a goal where you, like for instance, buying a home, or, you know, which is the Four of Wands. And so you do these repetitive actions in order to achieve that, but you can see there's a difference between the Pentacles energy and the Wands energy. One is very practical, and the Wands is very creative, but also very kind of fire can be kind of chaotic. It can be kind of, it's very expansive though, so it's full of growth. So if this is concerning two different people, it may be that you're attracted to someone for their wildness, or you could even say their spontaneity. And then there's this other person. This would be somebody that you're currently with, or that you have, you know, have been with for a while, that is like you, is more practical. And that, you know, not every Taurus person is going to be a textbook type of Taurus person either, because, you know, Taurus is right next to Aries, and you may have inner planets that are in Aries, and you're very, you know, very, very fiery and very like kind of, I was going to say like pushy and bossy, and like, which is not really an impatient. That's not how Taurus typically is. but you may have those parts of yourself if you have that Aries influence. And then on the other side, you're talking about Gemini, and that can be very changeable. Taurus is a fixed sign. So Taurus people tend to be very set in their ways and sometimes stuck in a rut. But if they have inner planets in Gemini, they will be more, they will have more of an ability to change. But if they have like Venus in Gemini, they can be fickle in love, and they could kind of like have a hard time, maybe indecisive in love, having a hard time wanting two relationships at the same time. So for some of you, this may be a dilemma of two different people. And it's not to say, and I would say too, that in this type of dynamic, that the person who's wants, there might even be like a physical attraction that makes you even more compelled to be with that person. But is it something that will flame out? The Pentacles is earth, and earth is very enduring. And this is also, I would say too, about like, for instance, how do you achieve your goals? You know, you do things very methodically. Well, not just methodically, but like consistently. So if you're somebody who really wants to buy a house, you've been kind of like on that wash, rinse, repeat cycle of, working towards your goal. And that can be something that is very fulfilling. But in some cases, if you feel like you're in a rut, that can be a problem too, because you may feel like you're stuck in that situation simply because, like, like if I've already bought a new home, you may feel like you have to continue to be somewhere that maybe you don't want to be because you have to maintain that thing. So whenever, somebody is thinking of buying something that costs a lot of money, and by the way, when people say, yeah, I just bought a house, usually they haven't bought the whole house. They haven't, paid for it just in cash. Usually they put a down payment and they act like they bought the whole thing. So remember that it's not just about reaching that goal. It's like, what do you have to do? What sacrifices do you have to make for the rest of your life? Well, not for the rest of your life, but for the next 30 years or whatever the mortgage is. Because that has to be factored into things. The lesson here, you could call it a spiritual lesson or what have you, the Tower. This is about something has to give. This is like, it's interesting because I was thinking of Uranus because of the lightning strikes. This is a card that's about, sudden, sometimes it could be sudden insights, but it could be this the breaking point where the person, there's like, and it's a good thing because it's a sense of release. But it's on the difficult side, it can be something that, creates a sudden break from what the person has been doing. Now, remember that Uranus is still in Taurus. It is going to go into Gemini, but I think at the end of the year, it's going to go back into Taurus. So for Taurus people, I have Taurus ascendant, it's really a time of feeling like you have to break out of these old, these holding patterns. And sometimes people lock themselves into something that creates that need to like break out in the first place. And the outcome is the Hierophant, which it's funny that they have this lightning for here too. I think in this case, because the Hierophant can be connected to the spiritual, it's kind of like that aha moment, or even the Kundalini arising, the rising of the Kundalini that can spur a spiritual awakening. But and this is also a card of conformity, and Uranus is the planet of nonconformity. So there are going to be Taurians, and Uranus has been in Taurus for years now. But there are some, especially if you're a later degree Taurus Sun or Rising, where it may not have been affecting you as much until now, where it's forming a conjunction with your Sun or Ascendant, and you really feel that need to break out of convention. Because, and this can also, by the way, marriage, the Hierophant, but it might be in some cases that it's like kind of like a midlife crisis where you're looking for some sort of excitement, and then you realize what you're throwing away. And I feel like, it can go either way, because this definitely, the Tower can definitely be that somebody has to break out of a mold that they have put themselves in, or a box that they put themselves in. And sometimes it takes a crisis to get to that point. So the Hierophant could be for some people that they have to, let go of that need for conventional behavior at all times. And for some people, it can be honoring the marriage or the commitment, because ultimately you know that this person is on your side, they're there for you, and you might be seeking excitement, but it's not worth the price that you would have to pay. All right, Taurus, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like an astrological reading, a tarot reading, or both in some cases, because I have package deals that include both of those types of readings, please check out my offerings at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.